Hiya. So, welcome back yet again. Um, as you might notice, the setup has changed a little bit. I've changed the position of the webcam, it's more to the right, as I changed the position of the main camera. I now have it on a tripod with an extension arm from the back of the desk, so I'm not constantly bumping into the leg as it was on the side. And I had to sit very awkwardly with one of the legs in between my own legs, so I was constantly sitting with my legs around it. It was kind of weird. So my husband said, "Why don't you position it on the other side of the desk?" Which was very obviously the best way to position it. But I didn't see that. Women logic. So yeah, I changed it today. I like the setup so far. The camera is still very close to my head though. But if I am correct, I won't be able to get my hair into the camera anymore. Nope. Woohoo! Also, the top view is great. It's now straight on instead of with an angle. So I can just paint how I will always paint a miniature without having to think about how to position it in front of the camera, where I usually would have to paint with an angle for myself as to show it well on camera. Now it's almost the same as to what I see and what the camera sees, so small wins. I like that. So yeah, that's about all about the setup. Still prefer the white background to the black. I'm not sure if I need white gloves now, but I already purchased black ones as I started with the black background. So that's just unlucky. But a glove is a glove, and I'm sure it will be fine. Trying not to mess with the lighting too much. Should be fine. So yeah, today, proceeding with this big boy here, I am going to work on the fabrics, on the ropes, and probably leather as well. I still have not thought of what I want to do with these, besides the idea one of the followers gave to me with the purple. So yeah, I was kind of thinking about. I was just looking at it, and suddenly I had this idea of the purple to red to orange, perhaps. So it will become lighter, but not as light as the first idea I had in mind, as I don't want the attention to be pulled towards the ends. It would be better to keep it here. Could be an idea. But let me just focus on what I have figured out by now. And that is the fact that I want to use burgundy for these fabrics. It's kind of the same as this right here, so I like to use that color again and maybe draw some patterns on there. I mean, the cloths I found online with a deserty vibe to it, they all had some sort of design to it, and I mean, you can make it as simple or as difficult as you want it to be, but I like to paint a nice little pattern, even though it's just small stripes or some dots or both. It really can make something pop that looks very boring. So yeah, burgundy for the bundles right here. Thinking about a lighter color, a beige or something for the ropes. And I'm still not sure what this is, which makes it a bit more difficult to figure out what I want for the colors, as I don't know what it is. I mean, there's some sort of canisters. They are held together onto the leather of the saddle. I mean, I don't know if you can see that. No, too close. Wait, you can zoom in, idiots. These thingies right here. I have no idea what they are. Let me get back to where I was. Something like that. Okay, so let's get some burgundy onto the wet palette first. Just going to add a bit of purple to the red and hope to get a nice burgundy from that. Also, this weekend I ordered a, how do you call those? I want to say an extension arm, but it's for the microphone, so I can have it up to here. And with that, I can use the noise cancellation, because now it's on the desk, and every time I move my head away from the microphone, when I had the noise cancellation on, it would stop recording my voice. So at the moment I had to switch it off, and now you can hear everything. So I have to keep the door shut, keep the cats out. I cannot start the washing machine. Every time my husband walks in, you can hear it, and I mean, you don't have to hear everything. What if the neighbors go to the toilet? So yeah, the let's call it extension arm will arrive tomorrow. I only have to pick it up at the store, and then I have to figure out how to position it without it being in front of the camera. And if it will be in front of the camera, let's just try to make it not too obvious. But I have plenty of space here, so it should work. I mean, there's a camera here, and I'm not bothered by it, so hopefully touch the lights. Hopefully you aren't either. Anyway, that's just coming in tomorrow, so for the next stream I will probably have figured that out. If not, it probably was a very busy week. Let's mix some colors for the burgundy. I want a shadow color, a highlight color, and the normal burgundy, of course. I would also like to buy a second webcam camera soon, so I can point it at my wet palettes. You guys have been asking about me showing the paints I use, but yeah, I simply cannot buy everything at once. So bit by bit I will get my setup how I want it, with the webcam for me to talk to you, for the main camera, for my paint jobs of course, and it's nice to also show you which paints I am using, instead of me just talking about it and you simply having to believe it. But yeah, that's just one of the plans I'm having. And it's nice to just think about small things you can add to the setup without going completely wild and buy everything. A little bit of white. Well, white. I call it white. I usually use ivory instead of white. I don't like just the white color. Ivory is a bit warmer, so I call it white, but it's a light yellow. So let me start with the shadow color of the burgundy. Maybe this is better. Not sure if the camera agrees, but it's nice to see where I'm pointing my brush at. There's something right here on the bundle as well, the upper one. I seriously have no idea what it is. So I will probably opt for a safe option in colors, probably something dark, mask it a bit. I mean, what do you do if you don't know what it is? Besides asking you guys in hopes that you guys know, but since there isn't anyone on stream just yet, in the chat at least, it's a bit difficult to ask and expect answers. And I'm also painting shadows on the upper parts because the bundle above it will block out the light. Same for here, the back sides. Also, this brush looks terrible, but it's one of my old brushes. And it's one of the biggest ones I have. So I'm just using what I have, and I needed something bigger. Recently bought some new paints, should have ordered some new brushes as well. But I got carried away with the paints and totally forgot about the brushes. That's normal, right? paint the other side as well. Totally confusing the camera. Sorry about that. Oops. I haven't painted the other side of the skin as I wanted to finish some commission work instead of working on this fun little project. I mean, this is mine and it's done when it's done, but I still have some commissions on my desk and I am trying to get rid of all of them as soon as possible, as I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed with working on everybody else's projects and kind of neglecting my own. The plan was to paint many models for upcoming competitions. I think I've mentioned that before, but this weekend I kind of felt like I really have to make some decisions, and I'm choosing my own sanity over working on somebody else's projects. And I mean, commissions are fun, but sometimes you have to take a step back and just focus on your own skills and your own paint jobs and be happy with something you can keep. But yeah, lately I'm feeling a bit stuck into my creativity. I always want to create, and on one hand I feel like I could be doing so much more than just painting miniatures. On the other hand, I have no idea what I would like to do besides creating, but I'm already doing that, so I don't really understand why my head is fighting me so much. And because of that, I started to think about what can I do to calm my brain. And that's when I decided my time should be more about my own work instead of somebody else's. Especially if you don't get paid too much for your commissions. Sometimes it's better to just stop for a while, focus on what's important for you. And I think that it's important for me to start seeing my own potential again, work on things I like just for myself. And I probably will get back to painting commissions and such whenever I feel like it. I mean, I've never been too busy with commissions anyway, because I refuse quite some commissions. I had already stopped doing commissions where they simply wanted me to copy somebody else's work. I was like, you can ask anybody else to do that. I have my own style now, and copying somebody else's, that just doesn't feel good. So if they want that, they could look for somebody else. Also, I didn't want to take on too many commissions as I battle my chronic depression. And I have to keep my head calm as to not fall back into that pit too often. So in that case, I would decline more money, which is okay, as I just have a normal day job as well for 3.5 days a week. And painting is just a bonus. Why don't you stick to that part? Was thinking maybe I've touched that part too much with my bare hands, but I've only painted this mini with gloves on. Bit weird. Maybe it was the cat. I ran out of burgundy. Make more. Just red and purple. It's a bit difficult to film, I think, because of the flappy hat things. So my apologies for that. The camera is probably doing the best it can. I think that shadow color needed more black. So let's fix that. Alright, he was quite tipped over. So that shadow needs to come up a bit more. Totally forgot about that. Oh, earlier this week, the creator of this beast, Rescale Miniatures, they shared it on their page, which was quite cool. I mean, it's always nice if the creator sees you paint their work, and it's even better when they like it. I mean, I always do my best painting something, but it just gives that extra oomph if the creator likes what you do. So that made me happy. It is quite difficult to reach in between the bundles and the saddle, and I'm afraid there will be some unpainted parts visible in the end. Let's hope I can mask that when taking pictures. I mean, it's not visible anyway. Maybe smoothen that transition a bit more. Bit of finger painting. let me add a bit of matte varnish to that, so you can actually see what I have painted. Sometimes the reflection of the paint will mess with my eyes, and I will add a bit of matte varnish so I can see the effect I painted just a bit better. It's also very handy for when you're painting, or when you're taking pictures of your paintwork, so you can see what you have painted instead of any effects made by the paint. Unless that is exactly what you want. I mean, I like how the color fits his head. Yeah. I mean, it's good to bring back some colors, as you don't need the entire rainbow worth of colors on your miniature. Unless you want that, in that case it's fine. Do I have some brown? Just going for some simple brown leather straps. Nothing too fancy. I always enjoy using this red-brown for leather, especially in combination with that dark purple shadow I usually use, and then the very light yellow for the highlights, of course. I think that combination works really nice. I do wonder if those noises you hear in the background are as annoying for you as they are for me. They're working on the tracks besides the house. I'm glad these things are a bit sturdy because I keep resting my finger on them. Would be a shame if they snapped off. Let's hope I didn't jinx myself just now. I mean, I still have no idea what they are, but the straps will be leather anyway. So I'm just going to paint them brown. Let's add some shadows and highlights. Maybe first the highlights, so I can glaze a bit of shadow over it. Sounds a bit weird to add a shadow over a highlight, but you have your normal tones, you have your mid-tones, highlights, shadows. So if I go for a highlight first on the normal tone, then I will have a mid-tone eventually if I add some shadow to it. So it makes sense in my head. I hope you understand what I mean. I'm going for one brighter highlight. I'm going to add some scratches to the letter. I like to do this mostly at the highlight spots, as to brighten them up just a bit more, and also adding some texture, which is more pleasing to the eyes if it's leather. At least I think so. And this is also a good shade for the edge highlights, as they are very thin. So you need a strong contrast to make them pop. And a bit of a brown glaze to tie everything in with each other. Keep that very thin. I mean, that looks like leather, right? Where is my black? Still have no idea what it is, so I'm going to paint it dark for now. Just a bit of an erase. Maybe make these dark as well. I mean, they will stand out because of the skin next to it. Just trying to be careful not to mess with the small leather straps I just painted. Would be a shame. Right. That works. So let's see. What am I going to do? I need more black. Where is it? Oh, right here. Going to mix a quick gray for the small buckle thingies. Still in front of the camera. Sheesh. That brush went full into the saddle. No idea if that's a smart idea to paint right now, as I still have to paint behind it. But I have the paint on my palette now, so just use it while it's still usable. we'll have to do those straps first, as the buckle parts are very, 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 very small. This very small hair poking out of my brush. Broke it off. It was ruining the very sharp point I was working with. And I'm trying to do some highlights on those very small buckles. Yes, camera, I know, I'm sorry. I mean, it's a very quick and dirty non-metallic metal, but it works. I mean, you can now see the buckles. So patterns. What kind of patterns should I do for the bundles? Maybe just a simple checkered stripe. Let's just do that. Don't overthink everything. The stripes don't add up completely, but I like it. I mean, maybe the cloth is just twisted a bit. Maybe the pattern was painted on by hand. It's fantasy. Who cares? I mean, I actually do care, but I like to act like I don't, to shut up my own brain. You ever do that? And when you have this pattern, you simply glaze the shadows back in. And voila! There is some stitching here on the side, so I'm going to add those after I've taken off that annoying little hair. Maybe a bit of orange to it. You can hear my brains making that awful noise. I was thinking, should I go for an orange second stripe next to the white one? Or maybe just an orange little detail where the white stripes will meet. I think I'm going to do that. Just to change it up a bit more from the one below. Let's see. Sure, why not? Thinking too much. You don't hate it, just do it. Bringing back that shadow once again. And a bit of matte varnish to show off the final results. I am debating to paint his ropes with a hint of green. Maybe a beige and green striped rope. could be nice. Do I have a green on hand? Almost empty. But it's a nice green. It's this one. I like it. Forest green. Let me get a smaller brush. Going for a shadow color of this green, mix in a bit of purple, a bit of black, and it's easier with these small parts to paint the shadow color first and then add the highlight colors on top, because it's super tiny. Was wondering what I was looking at, but it was another buckle. And while I'm at it, I'm going to paint these ropey parts green as well. Hey, goedenavond. I am doing very well. Enjoying my paint job tonight. How about you? And I know you don't speak Dutch that much, so I'm just keeping it in English. Unless you want me to chat in Dutch, I can do that as well. Let's paint these ropes as well. I was painting some ropes, or I thought they were ropes, but now I'm looking at it from a bit more up close. I think they are supports. I think I missed those when I was taking him off the supports. Which I'm not going to take off now, as they are super small and in between the ropes, and the ropes themselves are very small as well. So I'll just not take any pictures from that side, at least not any close-ups, and point them out. If I don't do that, it's probably fine. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be perfect, just going to be honest. Before you want to point out stuff I missed, I probably know. Right, so a highlight color. First going with that green. I like the green. It's a nice contrast with the rest, and I'm trying to keep it a bit dark as to not pull too much attention. Oop, almost. Going for one highlight color. Just a bit of ivory mixed in with the green. Yeah, maybe keep it there. Always have to get used to when I reposition my camera. Alright, I missed the spots. Right here. Still had a small amount of green left, so I'm quickly going to use that for the reins he's holding. Good enough. So stripes. Going for a very light green. Interesting look. And then of course bring that shadow back. These can use a bit more shadow. And those purple thingies can use a bit more lights. So I'm going to use that same dark purple, add a bit of whites, or well, ivory, and a little bit of red. And a bit more ivory. Still have no idea what they are, but at least they're getting a nice edge highlights. Oh, I see, I missed something. Because these are buckles as well. Why I painted them gray. They also need highlights. I always tell myself I'm not good at non-metallic metal, but that looks kind of convincing actually. I need to stop telling myself shit. Good evening. I'm doing pretty well. I had been having some brain farts earlier today, but I'm now happily painting away on some nice patterns. So it's going well now. Just diving in, focusing on this. Painted these lovely patterns right here, and also some stripy ropes. Made them green as a nice contrasting color, and I made them burgundy to match his hats. Thank you. It was more an accidental thing to get that dark red color on his head because I wasn't sure what I wanted, so I painted it black as to stop pulling attention. And I added some red to that, and before I knew it, I saw potential in the colors I was creating on the spot. But yeah, I like where it is now. Still not 100% sure about these parts, but the latest idea was a purple, red, orange. Thank you. I still have no idea what these parts are. So I just painted them dark purple. Did some very small non-metallic metal parts, like the part I was working on when you came online. Wasn't planning on non-metallic metal, but the parts are so small, it wasn't too scary. So I still have to paint the opposite side. It's still a bit bland. I did paint his bags and the ropes, and the rest is for whenever I feel like painting them, I suppose. I mean, I started all the bags with the same colors, and then I figured why not break it up a bit, add some patterns to it, and suddenly came with the idea of a two-tone stripy design. A bit more varnish. So, how are you doing this evening? Did you do anything fun today? Oh, well, that's nice. I'm glad I can be a nice background filler. Well, that's totally fine. I mean, it's the weekend, right? You don't have to be productive like every day, every hour of the day. If you need that sleep, you just sleep. Random miniatures. Okay, like Warhammer miniatures or something else? I mean, it doesn't have to be Warhammer, but it's just the first thing I think about. Sometimes I wish I could do with less sleep, but I need my sleep as well, so during the weekend I will sleep in. I mean, it's kind of nice to have a lot of time on hands during the weekends, but it's also very nice to be rested. Some not so miniature size. I mean, is it something like this? Something like this, perhaps? Oh, it's huge. Get out. Ugh. So much to paint. I mean, these are just the legs. Holy shit. I mean, in comparison to this guy, you would probably just stomp on it. Yeah, I know. I mean, look at this guy and his small little weapon. Now look at the weapon of the big thing I just showed you. This is one weapon. Like, what? Yeah, probably. I mean, he can ride the gun. No idea. I mean, he seems to have fun. Well, I'm not going to use those parts. It belongs to this very big model, which is 750 euros. It's not mine, it's commission. But maybe I can find some files for a different kind of gun. I do like that. That would be very cool. I'll keep that in mind. I missed a part of paint. Oh, whoops. I was just thinking about how well that color fits right there. And I just mixed it. It's perfect. Well, shit. While I'm at it, paint the parts in between his bags as well. Maybe this one. It's very hard to reach. But it is so easy to see, so I want it gone. Maybe when that dries. What do you think of the idea someone else had? He said purple and then going to a brighter purple, but I was thinking to use that purple idea, go for a purple, red, orange. Maybe? Well, I want to keep it from becoming too bright, as bright colors will pull away the attention. And I'm not sure if I want the attention drawn away from everything. That could be a nice idea. I mean, there are a lot of strands, of course. Maybe I could add some magenta here and there to break it up a bit, because I do like the idea of magenta. It fits the rest of the colors. I mean, when in doubt, use all colors, I suppose. Which is the complete opposite of what I said before, but I do think it's funny because when I started this project, I really didn't have bright colors in mind. It was more of a more natural colors and beige and just soft tones. But then I started to paint and he became brighter and more colorful, and I mean, I don't even mind, but it wasn't what I had in mind originally. And you never know what you're going to paint. Like, I don't at least. I start with a rough idea, and sometimes it will look kinda like what I had in mind, and other times it's like this, like something completely different. So it's a surprise for you and me both how my paint jobs will come out. Yeah, they are very unique parts. That is very true. I do think they are pulling attention just with the shape themselves. So they wouldn't need to be extremely bright. But yeah, I can definitely add some stronger points to them to pull a bit more attention. Going to change these. I'm going to paint these straps, and then it's time for me to end the stream already. Time went fast tonight. Don't drop it. And before you know it, I've repainted all the leather. I had to reprint the entire beast, but yes, this is the one. I figured out what the issue was and then reprinted the entire thing. I think that's a better color. Oh, but yeah, the issue with this miniature and printing it was the fact that I have rescaled it, and I didn't notice that the pre-supports weren't enough for the bigger size. So I added more supports, and after that, he printed amazingly well. Weird enough. Yeah, exactly that. I mean, I didn't really think about that, but yeah, when you print something at 150%, it might need a bit more support. I mean, you learn. Right. I am going to end the stream right here. This took me way longer as expected yet again. but I do like it. So just shut up and just like your own stuff. Thank you. I mean, he's been taking quite some time, but I still like him. And I really like that I've added some green, added some more patterns to break it up. The fact that I changed the brown, I like this brown. And also the fact that I done some sneaky non-metallic metal. Very sneaky. In here on the buckles as well, can't think of the name. So yeah, pretty pleased. The other side is still boring, but let's just ignore that. So yeah, going to think about his flappy things a bit more. Try to envision it with multiple colors in there. Maybe give it a very nice sheen to it, like it's silk. Maybe. I do like a good sheen. But yeah, that's for a different time. For now, I'm pleased with what I've done. You guys were lovely in the chat. And yeah, everything's good. Kind good. You were good. Nice. Glove art. Thank you very much. Oh, and if you have any idea what these things are, just let me know, please, because I don't know. No idea. Maybe ask the creator. So yeah, guys, I'm going to take some pictures for Instagram. You can zoom in or out if you want. And I will be back next Friday. So hope to see you then. If not, have a nice week anyway. And good luck at work tomorrow. Or not. I mean, I'm having the day off, so more painting. Would be nice to see you here again. If you can't, well, let's just try the next time or the next or the next. We'll probably speak to each other somewhere soon, I'm sure. So good evening, good day, good whatever time it is for you, and see you next time. Bye.